Hello, everyone, and welcome to this month's monthly mini concert. As always, it's great to have you here with me today. Amazing Grace is a beloved traditional hymn that all of us know and have loved for many, many years. Our first selection today is a beautiful arrangement of this hymn by iconic 20th century American composer Dale Wood. Wonderful hymn, Amazing Grace, brought to life by the brilliant setting of the great Dale Wood. Charles Gounod was a French composer who lived from 1818 to 1893. He was a prolific composer who was heavily influenced by J.S. Bach and Felix Mendelssohn, and yet who also was a great influence for later composers such as Gabriel Fauré and Jules Massenet. Our next selection today is his Marche Solonnelle. Marche, Solonnelle by the great Charles Gounod. Our final selection today is an organ improvisation on the contemporary hymn, When All Is Ended. This hymn is a triumphant post-Easter celebration of the resurrection and offers the hope that God will bring all things to a good end, characterized by peace and justice. It was written by the prolific contemporary hymn-composing duo of Brian Wren and William Rowan in the 1980s. And I love not only the melody and the harmony of this, but also the words. When all is ended, time and troubles past, shall all be mended, sin and death outcast. In hope we sing, and hope to sing at last. Alleluia, alleluia. As in the night when lightning flickers free and gives a glimpse of distant hill and tree, each flash of good discloses what will be. Against all hope, our weary times have known, wars ended, peace declared, compassion shown, great days of freedom, tyrants overthrown. Then do not cheat the poor who long for bread with dream worlds in the sky or in the head, but sing of slaves set free and children fed. With earthy faith we sing a song of heaven, all life fulfilled, all loved, all wrong forgiven. Christ is our sign of hope, for Christ is risen. With all creation, pain and anger past, evil exhausted, love supreme at last, alive in God, we'll sing an unsurpassed Alleluia, alleluia. Presented, one of my very, very favorite hymns to play. I always like to remind you to please continue to check all of the communication methods that the church has to let you know all the wonderful things that are happening in this church community. That includes the website, the latest, the communicator, and of course the church bulletins. And of course you can check Facebook too. Thank you once again for being with me today. Look forward to seeing you once again next month at this exact same time from the exact same place for next month's monthly mini concert. Take care.